Okay, let's see what we can find out and explore. Let's go to Offra's house. But first things first, let's go to the nearest house. I think we can at least rob people, right? Minus 20 fatigue for 600 seconds. We'll read this off camera. Interesting history. You know what? I'm gonna load the game again. I'll be right back. I don't want to get caught stealing and have to fight everyone in the village. I'll be back. Okay, so what I didn't notice before is if you hover your mouse over it and it's like a red gauntlet, that means you'd be stealing. So we don't want to do that. Rats scurry behind the sacks. Okay, so these are both Kickstarter backers. Here, it's a regular gauntlet, so I guess we can take it. Ingrid, this man and woman appear to have been deep in conversation, working at closing two bulging satchels. What's in the satchels? They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little.
Hail and well met.
Can we help you? She looks to her companion, brows furrowing with confusion. Do you know this man, Nanton? Didn't we meet Nanton outside? Nanton coughs. Yes, I think we met in the Valewood. I warned him about the bear. He inclined his head. Glad to see you've made it. Was there something else you wanted? You two are in good spirits for people who just lost a friend. That's unkind of you to say. I'm grieving my husband in my fashion. Oh, it's her husband who was killed by the bear. I'm only sorry I could not convince him to leave Gilded Vale before this happened. I'm relieved to be rid of this terrible place, that's all. It cost me the greater part of my life, and now my husband, and I'm glad to be free of it. You two seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so, Ingrid laughs. We're packing for a trip, actually. I've been meaning to visit Defiance Bay, and she looks at Nanton. Well, in truth, I think I've had my fill of this town. I can't blame her for that. Nanton reaches to take her hand. It's time for some new scenery, he says. Is there anything you can tell me about Gilded Vale? Ingrid smiles wryly. Only that you'll want to be moving on as soon as you can. You'll have seen the tree, I imagine, but the rot goes deeper. If you were looking for work, I'd say you have a better chance of it elsewhere. We're headed for Defiance Bay ourselves, not an ads. Okay.
Hail, traveler. Hail and well met.
I guess that's that. Let's go to the mill. Okay, now the villagers are saying this guy has been stingy with his grain. And Trumbull's an elven man, stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates and lowers the club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swainer roping foreigners into his little crusade now? Who's Swainer? The dwarf. The one standing out there spreading lies among the villagers. Bastard's been here for decades and he hasn't gotten any kinder with time. What was all that ruckus outside? Trumbull shakes his head. Where to begin? Swainer's whipped them up into a froth, going on about the grain stores. Claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound. That's an ominous name. On the west side of town, for ale. And Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town. The crop's blighted. Yeah, they look like locust husks. And most of what I'm getting from the farmers, and most of what I'm getting, from the farmers? Trumbull gestures to the sacks and containers. It's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough grain to go round. Swainer's howling after things he has no right to. Maybe I ought to have a talk with Swainer then. We'll do a quest. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it if you can convince him. Now in this game, most of the XP is awarded through quests, not combat. So, yeah. So let's take a look around. That would be stealing. So we spoke to Trumbull. What about Kiru? My father's a good man. He's always done right by the town. I'm sure father can explain better just what happened here. Okay. Saving. Let's see if Eder will join our party now. Guess not. Remember, we're still looking for a cure for our ailment, so maybe someone in one of these houses has an idea. This worn, dog-eared book is titled Travels Upon the Keldglass Sea. There is an etched illustration of a vast finned leviathan. Cool. Ofra. A dear wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She doesn't look pregnant to me. That's a pretty thin waist. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
How do you do?
Well, finally, I was starting to think. The woman makes a startled noise when she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? I thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you with one of the caravans? She looks at you hopefully. Master Odima's by any chance? I was, yes. I'm afraid the rest of the caravan was killed. Ofra covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Calliska was always so certain she could take on any danger. Oh, this must be Calliska's sister. Ofra sniffs. Oh, my poor sister, I'm sorry. Stranger, I can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Ofra's face crumples, and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. Why did you send for Calliska? I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Calliska as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. I wonder if a soulless child can grow up and lead a relatively normal life, all the stigma of the people around them aside. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Redrick, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor, she sniffs. With my Hathort gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost my home too. I hope Calliska could help me. I hoped Calliska could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child from being hollow-born, but she moved south to Anslog's Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else now with Calliska gone. More tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? Uh, I guess I could say I'll find Ranga for you. You have earned a reputation. Reputations can be held with communities or factions in the Eastern Reach and will affect how members of that group respond to you. In some cases, friends or enemies of those groups will also react to your affiliations. Helping a group will increase your positive reputation with that group. Harming a group will increase your negative reputation. It is possible to have a mix of positive and negative reputation with a group if you help and harm them in equal measure. Ofra blinks, eyes wide. You will? Oh, gods bless you. Here, I'll give you a coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of, well, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Anslog's Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. She clasps her hands together. Thank you again, truly. You'll be saving us both. She sets a hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Still stealing. Alright, we're out of here. I know there's something we need to do by this tree. Let's go to the inn. The floorboards are sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean.
Well met, friend.
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Black Hound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have two available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today, she sighs, unless you're fond of cold porridge. I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Could I see what you have for sale? I'd like to know more about the Black Hound. Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We get a lot of new faces in here too, fewer than we used to, I'll admit. I used to work the tables actually until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him. Even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Black Hound? Okay, so the Black Hound is this establishment and not a person. It's still sitting upstairs, pining after him, poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow, she laughs. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. You only serve porridge? Aleph looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in the Deerwood. We've had a damnable run of luck is all. It's been a bad season for the crops and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfris up north to stock up. Tenfris our cook, you see, an artist with a good roast. But it's been days since he was supposed to return and we haven't seen any sign of him. She sighs again. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. I could try to find him for you. Really? Her face brightens. I'd be grateful to you if you did. We're building up our reputation and our experience points and our quests. He was traveling through the Valewood. It's probably nothing, a broken wheel maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. I could use some reliable help. Oh well, well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience, but we do have certain sorts coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone, I'll be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. Level 1 adventurer, 250 copper pieces. We're close. Can we sell? I want to see... Yeah, well, I don't know what we can sell. Do we have any... What's in the... Here? Okay. Okay, that just got us to 234. I guess we don't need a hatchet. A sword? Oh, it's slash and pierce. That's good. This is just slash. Poleaxe could be... It's slash and crush. That's great. It's slow, but it does a lot of damage. It's a piercing weapon. I guess we could sell that. You know what? I'd rather find... Okay, we have a new task. I'd rather find an NPC who we don't have to pay for at this point. Spoons hang by the fire, coated in brownish gunk. Let's see if we can find an NPC in here.
Greetings.
Don't know who you are and don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. Aloth narrows his eyes. Careful, looks like they are cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked me. He wrinkles his nose. Smells like it, too. Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. I saw you outside the mill. What was that about? Well, someone fancies themselves a meddler, eh? What's that about? It's about Trumbull, thinking he's king of the town on account of he's got the mill to his name. The dwarf's jowls quiver with rage. It's about him barely giving us anything for the wheat we bring him, and then cutting our purses when we need to buy again. It's about farmers going hungry while some bastard gets rich off their crops. That's what it's fucking about. There's profanity in this game. Now shove off. What if I buy you all around? Will you talk to me then? Swainer considers it briefly. He looks up to the others. Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and might be I'll feel up to trading words. I think we have some ale on us, don't we? We have 2 ales and a beer.
Good day, stranger.
About this trouble with the miller. Hair off, rabbit. I haven't anything else to say to you. I thought I had enough ale. Okay, you know what? Let's go get some more ale.
How do you do?
Okay. Beer. Okay. So they have plenty of beer. Let's get 2 beers. Make that 3 beers. I'll trade in that leather armor. And boom.
Good day to you.
I brought drinks. Hey, so you have. By the flame, I never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of the Black Hound's shit beer. Gods, that's good. Alright then, you've got my attention. What is it you've got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Maybe you could tell me more about what's going on. It's like I said, the miller's in charge of the grain prices. He says they're fair, but I know for a fact that folks like Offra pay half what we do, the dwarf sighs. And maybe we've been a bit rough with him, but what are we supposed to do? We can't keep paying what we're going to starve. And do you think Trumbull's going to be sorry about it when we do? Look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. Swainer eyes you for a long few moments, drinking deep from his mug. Then he sighs. You're right. Things go on like they are. We're just going to end up hanging from that tree out there. He looks to his comrades. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Don't know what we'll do now with the crops failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Think Pasca needs a hand around the inn? Okay, so I have to report to Trumbull. In a minute. I'm guessing these are more backers. Let's see. Yep. More backers, probably. These bones are covered by tiny bite marks. Rats. This hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Oh, this reminds me of that tale of from the 1920s of this Japanese dog who waited for his master, who was a businessman after he died at the train station, just kept waiting at the train station for his master to come back. And there was a movie about it with Richard Gere not too many years ago, and it was really, really heartbreaking, especially if you love dogs. Sorry, girl, don't think he's coming back. The dog whined softly again, head tilting. Well, you can come with me. Maybe we'll find him on the way. The dog's ears perk up. It trots over to you and barks happily. We have a dog now. Black Hound. This small dog has a glossy black coat and an affable disposition. She trots along at your heels, gazing up devotedly whenever you come to a stop. Damn, I hope nothing bad happens to her while we're out adventuring. This is the animal slot. So right now we have a cute little doggy. I believe we have lockpicks. But how to use them? Oh, requires 2 lockpicks. Great. There's our lockpicks. Yes. Padded armor. Okay. And a duelist hat. And a rapier. Okay, not bad. There goes my dog again, my real dog. A wire-haired dachshund, a little dog, a little cute little hairy dog. But he likes to bark a lot, and I apologize for that. Cram behind the books.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if the... Cram behind the books is a drawing that shows Eorthas and Lord Redrick in a compromising position. Okay. Having sex, maybe? Well, that's all the time I have, so I will see you in the next video. You take care.